Okay, now I'm going to talk about the disjunction rules. So the first step to thinking about the disjunction rules is remembering what the disjunction means. So a disjunction or, right, a statement like this, it means A or B is true. So when you have a statement like this, you're being told A or B is true. At least one of them must be true to make that entire statement true, but you can't be confident which one it is. So for disjunction introduction, that means it's a very easy rule. It means any line of a proof can become a disjunction. The idea is, if I know A is true on its own, then A or anything else will be true. So all you're doing is you're going from a specific statement, A is true, to a kind of more vague or general statement, A or P is true. You can add, the P could be anything. So this, in disjunction introduction, the thing that you add on could be any sentence at all. It could be a very long sentence. It could be P conditional Q, or it could be A and B and C. It could be whatever you want, because as long as you have a previous line established, that line or anything else will be true. So disjunction introduction, the way you use that rule is you take any line of a proof and you add on a disjunction. So you only need one thing to be true in disjunction introduction. Again, if you start with something over here, let's say you have B being your premise in a proof, that means B or anything else would be true. Disjunction introduction. This is introduction of line 1. Just because one line is true, I can confidently say that line or anything else is true. So disjunction introduction should be a very easy rule. You can take any line and add a disjunction. Now, disjunction elimination is a subproof rule as well, so it can be a little more complicated. But it's again just based on the idea that any time you have a disjunction, it means A or B is true, meaning we don't know which one. So if I have a disjunction as a premise, that leaves me in a very difficult situation. If I want to create a disjunction, again, with disjunction introduction is very easy because I just take a line I already have and then I add on a disjunction. But what if I already have a disjunction and I want to eliminate it? That's a very difficult situation because a disjunction is a vague statement. A or B is true. Well, I know one of them is true, but I can't be sure of which one. So what I do is I use a strategy here to prove my goal. So the idea is, let's say my goal is some sentence C. What I care about here is proving my goal. So when I'm eliminating a disjunction, I'm not really ever eliminating the premise here, A or B. I'm just going to say it doesn't matter which one is true. I'm going to do a strategy where I say my goal will be true, whichever of these is true. So it forces me to create two different subproofs that end with the same thing. And the idea is whichever one is true, if they both lead to the goal, then I know the goal is true. So the idea, again, is I have to fill in these subproofs somehow, but up here I'm being told A or B is true, but not which one. So what I do is I say, well, it doesn't matter. If A is true, I can get C, so that will work out. If B is the one that's true, I can get C. Therefore, either way, C is true. What I just want to show is that either way, the goal is true. So disjunction elimination is not really about ever finding out which one. You never find out the answer to this question. You don't know whether A or B is true, and you're not trying to find out. What you're trying to do is prove your goal. But you prove your goal based on the idea that at least one of them must be true. So you do these subproofs, which are like hypothetical situations, and you show that in both possible situations, the goal is true. So we don't need to know which of the situations is true, because they both lead to the same result. So that tells me that my goal must be true. So at the end, when I finish my two subproofs, I need the same thing to be at the end of the two subproofs, because the idea is I need to show the same thing here is true both times. So as long as my two subproofs end with the same statement, that's how I do disjunction elimination. And down here, when I say disjunction elimination, I have to cite the line with the original disjunction, and I have to cite both subproofs. So that's how you do disjunction elimination. At this point, you should pause the video to do the practice problems.